the games as well, a little bit on the side in it, so we can touch on it.
Welcome back to FTBL Final Whistle, my people. It's your boy Lies. You all recognize my face, but to my left is actually a new face on the channel. A lot of you guys probably know him. Let's be real. If we're talking United, we got to talk about one of the top United content creators up and coming in the game. My boy Haj. I had to get a quick replacement in. Hey, some might say it's an upgrade. Don't tell Cam I said that, but my brother, welcome to the show.
Nah, bro, thank you, bro. Thank you for shouting me out, man. Oi, top 10. Top 10, we made it. We made it.
Yes, sir. I mean, look, I had to get you on for a good game too, right? Because the worst thing that could have happened today is I get you on and Harry Kane hits us with a hat trick, or Son comes from behind 89th minute and hits us on the break. But no, on God, I said this in the first half, Haj. I think this was the best performance in one half from United, and over two halves, I think my opinion stays the same. I think that's the most dominant performance from Manchester United under Erik ten Hag, and honestly, that we've seen in quite a long time. I don't know where you kind of sit with that, but I look for a man 1 through 11. Everyone stood up. The press was excellent. People were telling me at one point that this was Spurs' game plan, right? That, oh, you shouldn't get too gassed because Spurs like to soak up pressure and hit you on the break. But guys, there were no breaks. The way United pressed Spurs into their own half today from minute 1 to minute 90 and limited them to so little passes in the final third. That's an elite performance right there. I want to get your thoughts. I want to get your feelings, Haj. As always, guys, hit the like button as well while we talk. The support is madly appreciated. Like, yo, we just hit 11K the other day, so that's great. But Haj, let me know about your thoughts on the game, bro. Where do you sit with that?
Bro, that was amazing. That was amazing. Like, oi, I need to compose myself. I might say something, it gets clipped. Like, I need to stay level-headed, yeah. But nah, man, it was. You know what it is, especially when you take into account last game at Old Trafford, Newcastle, 0-0. Everybody was frustrated. It was a game where didn't really create that much, and especially when you compare the two defenses, you look at Tottenham's and you expect it to be more challenging than Newcastle's. Bro, I swear to God, the first 10 minutes it was a little bit end to end, but after that, I'm looking at Tottenham and I'm thinking, I really did buy into the hype about 3-4 weeks ago where I was like, you know what? The performances are crap, but they're efficient. They get the 3 points. That's the most important thing. Bro, I swear to God, like, and I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. We made them look like a championship League One team. And you always have to take into account that this isn't even Ten Hag's 11. It's not even his squad, bro. Like in 2 years' time, there's a lot of players out there that probably won't even be putting on the Man United shirt.
I mean, Haj, bro, you're missing two players in that lineup, right? That have been crucial whenever Erik ten Hag's in the game, right? Martial and Eriksen have been crucial to everything Man United do well this season. Martial less so because he hasn't played as much. Those two aren't even playing, and United bossed it like that.
Bro, we bossed it to another level. And you know what was so impressive about it was the fact that I actually saw things today that I haven't really seen under Ten Hag this season. Like I've always said, I always give any new manager about 18 to 24 months in order for them to implement their philosophy and their play style, bro. Like we had Tottenham just pinned in their own half and we were just suffocating the dear life out of them. And yo, like everybody was pressing like a bunch of hyenas, and it was so rewarding because we were forcing Tottenham into errors. Yeah. The only negative that I could probably take out of this game was the fact that it should have been more than 2. Bro, it should have been 5. It should have been 6. Rashford should have walked out with a hat trick. Like, of course, Lloris made some crazy saves. But, bro, like, as in, when you look at the difference between the two teams, that Man United team today looked like upper echelons, whilst Tottenham just looked like I'll be real, like you touched on it earlier, which is some people say this is their game plan. Bro, they looked like a team that didn't want to come to play football. They just came to sit back, maybe take the 0-0 and maybe try and nick it final few minutes with a set piece or something. But now, bro, it was amazing.
Bro, I'm with you, right? I said the same thing. I even apologized on Twitter today. I officially came out and said I'm off the Spurs hype. I came out and said that, look, I've been watching Spurs and I haven't been impressed in any single game they've played this season, bar maybe 1 or 2. But there's something about Conte and there's something about the way he always plays and that he's never played well throughout his career. Like I saw Chelsea win a title where they weren't particularly the most outstanding team on the planet. Inter's the same thing. That Juve team a few years ago, it's not like they were playing Showtime football, but with Conte, you're almost programmed to think like, oh, it's okay because he always gets it done in the end. But I'm just looking at Arsenal and I'm looking at City this year, and I had to take it back. I came out and said today, like, there is no way the Spurs team finishes above Arsenal, and there's no way the Spurs team finishes above Manchester City because there's no way over 38 games, right? this kind of football can result in a top 2 finish. There's absolutely no chance. You look at Man United today, and I'm the same with you with Eric Ten Hag. I sit in a position that you got to give this guy his signings, and I have to see 8-9 signings of his own for me to properly see that this is his team, and I feel confident the way he's going. Like, okay, this is what Ten Hag wants. We're not at that point, right? I mean, even Casemiro, who recently is justifying why this guy has been one of the most dominant defensive midfielders of the modern game. But even him, right? He's not a Ten Hag player, quote unquote. He's not the kind of player you'd expect in a Ten Hag team. We're a long way away from seeing his ideal 11. So I've seen a lot of things with United this year, and one thing for me is still the build-up. It's still in midfield that I've seen a lot of issues. But today, the way that Spurs kind of made Man United look like the final version of an Eric Ten Hag team bodes well for how quickly Eric Ten Hag is still implementing his tactics, even without all his players. But also for me, just kind of sums up Spurs at the moment. And it's that any team that even comes at them, they just let them play and hope for the best. And look, when you have guys like Son and you have guys like Kane and you have Kulusevski at times and Richarlison, their mentality is kind of like, okay, we're going to be defensively resolute enough that and hope that these guys are so efficient up front that it won't even matter. But yo, today for me sums up Spurs at the moment. I don't see how they can finish above Arsenal and City playing the way they do. Not a chance. And for me, right, I think United has issues. I think Liverpool has issues. And I think Chelsea has issues. So it might result in Spurs finishing third. But any other season, I think they'd be in a real top 4 fight.
Nah, I agree. Like, we're United fans, bro. Like, we've seen this Conte ball just a few years ago, bro. Like, with all due respect, it's Ollie ball.
Yeah,
where it was just sit back, contain, absorb pressure, and just kill on the counter. But we were fortunate where we actually had some pace in attack. Like today, I was mainly worried about Harry Kane, especially like in the first 10 minutes. I saw one little moment where I was like, "Oh, it's looking long."
Did you see that pass, bro? That laser, bro.
When he was dropping deep, like I said it, I know this is what they're gonna do at Old Trafford. He drops deep, he picks up the ball, he dictates, and Son will just run relentlessly in behind. And sooner rather than later, one of those passes will come off. And like, even though he's been horrible this season, he's still one of the best, if not the best finisher in the league. Absolutely. It happened once, but bro, after that, I kept an eye on it. When I tell you, Licha Martinez, bro, he pocketed him. Like, he didn't even have a sniff.
I'll say this, right? Lisandro Martinez is Manchester United's best player. I've been saying this for the last few games. I've clocked now. He's the best player on the team. It's so weird as a United fan seeing a signing that's just completely worked out. Like, there's no drama with him. Every single game, you know what you're getting. Exceptional passer on the ball, brings the ball out well from the back. And everyone was talking about his height. And there's a good reason why, guys, people like Jamie Carragher have shut up since the first few weeks. There aren't any critics about his height. This is one of the best center backs in the league. No question about it. And the way he shut down Son and Kane today, hey, different, bro. The butcher.
No, it was quality. It was quality. Like, you remember when we lost to Brentford and how Sky Sports decided to dedicate like 20 minutes of in-depth analysis of Martinez? Bro, I'm hoping sometime on the weekend or even tomorrow they can offer a little segment to him, because he's been amazing, bro. Like, he's actually been one of the best signings I've seen at Manchester United in years because of how quick he's adapted. Like, you look at some other signings and you always say, listen, 12 months will give you time to adapt to the league, adapt to the manager, to your teammates. Bro, from day one, like even against Brentford, by the way, he was scapegoated in a sense because he wasn't that bad.
Not at all. No.
Today, like, like not many people pocket Harry Kane. I'll tell you that for free. Not many people, especially when you bear in mind this is the first time he plays against Harry Kane. So it's not as if he's had 3-4 runouts against him and he knows his play style. Hell no. He doesn't know nothing about the guy, and he pocketed him differently. But now, bro, everybody stepped up, everybody done their job. And even towards the end, I was looking at the bench and I was thinking, like, if I was Ten Hag, would I bring on anybody? Like 80 plus minutes and we're still cooking them. Like, there was no need to make a change in my eyes.
This is why you kind of subsection this perfectly into the next question I had for you. Hey, bro, listen, my co-host Cam is famously an old head. There's a joke on this channel that this guy is stuck in the 2000s, stuck in the 90s, and he's still stuck on 2008 Cristiano Ronaldo. He's still stuck on noodle hair Ronaldo from 2003, and he's a little more generous with him than I am. Who I'm a lot more harsh with Cristiano Ronaldo. But regardless, right? For a guy to basically walk out on his team, even though right, like the game was basically over, and for Eric Ten Hag now to come out and say, "I will deal with that tomorrow," is this kind of the issue now of keeping Cristiano Ronaldo in a season where realistically he isn't going to start every game, and there are going to be games like today where Ten Hag doesn't even deem him fit enough to play a minute? Is this really the issue where I don't want to call him a diva, right? Because for me, he's earned the right to be a diva throughout his career. He's earned the right to have the respect to be playing every single game. He's one of the greatest of all times. But is this the issue now of having such a big personality in your team that this might be a distraction to what has been, again, like what we said, the best performance of the season? But we've seen earlier in the season when Ronaldo doesn't come on, the next week on Talk Sport, it's going to be all about Cristiano Ronaldo. The next week on Vibe of Five, it's going to be all about Cristiano Ronaldo. Is this really the biggest issue now, that the great win and the great vibe around the club and the great performance is all overshadowed by one guy kind of walking out at the end because he didn't get the play?
You know what it is with Ronaldo, yeah? Like, I'll put it out there. I love Ronaldo, okay? And I'll be honest, like, sometimes I probably defend him when I shouldn't. But even me, bro, I'll be honest with you, like, even me today, there were parts where, even though I said I don't feel like Ten Hag should have made any changes, but when I saw Rashford go down, I think it was like on the 82nd, I was like, you know what? Let's be real. Ronaldo isn't playing on the weekend. He's not. There's no way in hell Ronaldo plays against Chelsea.
Against Chelsea, no way.
Seeing on Twitter, like Ronaldo's not going to come on because he's being rested and rare tear. Hell no. There's no way he plays against Chelsea. So when Rashford went down, I did say to myself, like, you know what? Maybe give Ronaldo that run around for about 10 minutes. But bro, the crazy thing is, in the back of my head, I was like, Ronaldo's the type of person to refuse it. Like,
you reckon?
Bro, I think he might, because Ronaldo is the type where, like, for example, if he tried to bring him on the 88th, I wouldn't be surprised if Ronaldo is the type of person that says, like, nah, man, like you're taking me for a fool. Like, I'm not coming on for 3-4 minutes. And it's like you said, bro, some players have earned the right to behave like that, but it's not a good look. It's a very bad example of how to go about things. And it's just, it does disrupt the changing room in a sense. Like I've always said, I love Ronaldo, but the problem with Ronaldo off the pitch is the media attention.
Yeah.
Because, bro, like, whatever he does, like last year, he stopped having desserts. It was all over the news. Yeah, bro, like whatever.
Within 1 week, they were talking about already the camp has stopped eating lemon cake or whatever the fuck. Man.
Like no apple pies and everything. Like, bro, you don't see this at any other club. And it's just, that's the attention that Ronaldo comes with. Now, I'll be real. Like the way he behaved, I didn't like it. And this comes from like a Ronaldo stand, shall we say. I didn't like it because I'm thinking, yo, like football is a team game, bro. Like at the end of the day, one day you play, one day you don't. And I feel like Ronaldo just needs to accept that he's not the 27, 28-year-old that's the first name on the team sheet. Like, bro, I saw AC Milan win the Serie A last year with Zlatan Ibrahimovic doing cameos.
Yeah.
Bro, big Zlatan, like he's a massive AC Milan legend, but you never saw him complain.
And Zlatan, in fact, Haj, he embraced the leadership role. He embraced that bench role. If you ask Milan fans, they'll tell you they couldn't have won that league title without him basically accepting his role as a veteran in the team, being a guy who plays 10 minutes here, sometimes doesn't play whatsoever, but at this stage in his career knows what he is. I think the issue of Ronaldo here is that his mindset in the summer was that I'm not above this team, but I'm above the current playing squad, and that I performed last year and no one else did, and I should be playing at a Champions League level. The problem is right now, I think there's been such a steep decline that I think was already kind of there last year, but it got expedited over the summer. And now we're in a situation, right? I was going to ask you, what do you do with him in January? But if there's no one really interested, do you kind of like agree to a mutual termination and wish each other the best going forward and just hope that he finds a club, or what do you do?
I don't know, man. I think it's tough. Like in the summer, I said he doesn't leave. Yeah, like as much as people have bought into the narrative that he stayed because he wants to stay. Nah, let's be real with one another. Ronaldo stayed because the offers that came through were just not good enough in his eyes. Like he wants Champions League. He wants a team that's going to compete for the title and the domestic cups. Cool. That offer never really came through. I think, do you know what it is? I think the harsh truth is, week by week, Ronaldo is beginning to accept that he's just not the guy that should be the first name on the team sheet. Like, bro, even the last international game, Portuguese fans who probably idolize him and have him as their goal, some of them even turned on him. Like, Like, what are you doing? You're getting three easy chances and you're bottling every single one of them. And I think in January, like Ronaldo will definitely have talks with Ten Hag. And I think Ronaldo understands that he's not going to be the first name on the team sheet this year. If he decides to, because apparently we've got a 1 year extension, if he decides to extend it, bro, he won't even be getting cameos, in my opinion, next year. Because if, like, we see what goes on with the Martial thing, but you can clearly see the type of profile and the type of players that Ten Hag likes to have in attack. I think in January, it will just be a case of he's got 6 months to go. Of course, you can sign him on a pre-contract, but I feel like United will just waive that. And if a club comes in for him, then why not? And I wouldn't be surprised to see him go back to Sporting Lisbon, bro. Like, that's a team that competes for the title. They're in the Champions League year after year. So it's a nice place to bow out. Like, just go back home.
No, 100%. I'm with you. Moving on. I mean, we got this comment right here, and it's about Fred. I won't go this far about saying Conte is a glorified Fred or whatever that's saying, but after the performance he had this weekend, which truthfully, Haj, was shocking, right? I think, to be honest, in general, Fred was someone that going into the season, I actually thought would have a much bigger role under Ten Hag than he's ended up having. And I think when he's had his opportunities this season, in preseason, he was playing like as the deepest midfielder, which I don't think his position. There were times in the Europa League this year where Ten Hag was actually playing him as a 10. Again, he can't play in front of the ball like that.
I remember
the last few games, he's been back playing as an 8. And last Sunday, I think he was horrible against Newcastle. But today, is this kind of just the game that Fred kind of thrives in, where it's like a dogfight and like the ball is in the air and this guy's getting himself involved, and he scored a goal. There was a deflection, but in general, this was a better Fred performance. Kind of when the environment is chaotic, when there's a battle, when he can get himself stuck in, when he gets the ball and maybe the team is deeper and he has time to really pick a pass. Is this really where you see the best of Fred? And in a month like October, where United has so many games, they play 3 games a week, you really need him stepping up his performances, right? Because we've seen of Eriksen, he can't play every single game. Even though Erik ten Hag is going to try his damn best to play him every game, he absolutely can't. Is this the stage of the season where guys like Fred, guys like McTominay have to stand up, hold themselves accountable for it, and put in performances like today?
I think with Fred, what it was is, bro, last week he was horrendous. Like, when I saw that team sheet today, I was losing my head. I was like, what? There's no way he starts again. But you know what it is? You're right. Like, when it's a battle and it's a war, you'd want Fred. Now, hear me out. Fred is the type to win the ball and then just pass it out for a throw. Like, today there was one attack. Like, bro, you saw it. There was one attack where I think he tried to like switch it down the left to Sancho. Bro, he just went out for a throw.
Bro.
But the thing is, that's what you get with Fred. You get the hard work. Like, when I tell you, he's probably one of the most energetic players in this league, where we're talking 95th minute, he can still run up and down, up and down. He's
got an engine for sure.
Yeah, he doesn't. The thing I love about Fred, and this is like where I do credit him, is he doesn't shy away from anything. Yeah, like especially under the Oli days when people used to get onto him, like, oh, he keeps losing the ball in our own half. But I'm thinking he's the only player that's
he's next to McTominay, and McTominay is hiding behind midfielders, bro.
McTominay's playing hide and seek. Like with Fred, he'd lose it sometimes because he's not really the best at taking the ball on a half turn. But the fact that he's dropping deep, making himself an option, I have to salute it. But with today, I'll be real, like the fact that Tottenham are not really a pressing team, it did help Fred, because I don't think he's the most press resistant.
Nah, bro. Fred with his back to goal is like kamikaze, bro. Like Fred is at his best, bro, when he has the time facing the opponent's goal, time and space to pick out a pass, composure. The problem with Fred, right, is he receives the ball and immediately, right, the alarm bells start going off in his head. Every elite midfielder ever, they get the ball and it's like a calming presence. Everyone around them just kind of relaxes. With Fred, it's like the alarm bells go off and it's contagious. Everyone starts losing their shit. But when I agree completely with you, a team like Spurs, who sits so deep, gives him time to receive, time himself, pick out his pass, compose himself. That's really where he's at his best, right? 100%.
He's havoc. Like, for example, all the other players, bro, when they have the ball, because we've been watching them for years, you just know what they're going to do. Like, for example, Anthony, when he gets the ball, you know what he's about to do. Sancho, you know what Sancho is about to do. But with Fred, it's like, I swear to God, I never, ever know what Fred's about to do. Like, even today in the first half, when he had that shot, and I'm thinking, bro, there's like 50 bodies in front of you. And the thing is, when he controlled it, it's like the ball was under him. So I was thinking, there's no way you shoot from here. I didn't get onto him because I was like, all right, cool. The shot was on target. we got a corner out of it. But I was thinking nobody else shoots from there in that area, especially the way he controlled the ball.
He didn't even get the ball out of his feet, bro. This shit was stuck in there.
Yeah, bro. Like there was no backlift to that
Hey,
shot. And I'm
man.
thinking, fair play, you got it on target. But it's just you never know what you're gonna get out of him. So that's why sometimes he does surprise you by doing something out of the ordinary. And then sometimes he just does something where you're just like, yeah, that's Fred. Like it's just
Fred is
the good with the bad.
Fred is the never let them know your next move meme, bro. That's really that he doesn't even know his next move, bro. On God, that's what he is. Listen, I'm trying to think in general at United who today really stood out. But again, I'm completely with you. Everyone, bar Sancho, to be honest with you, is another one that, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you know where I stand on him. I'm very underwhelmed by his performances.
I think we're the same.
Bro, they were shouting me when he got that assist to Fred, bro. They're gassing FPL assists these days, on God. But I thought, to be honest with you, he didn't play terribly. That's the thing with Sancho. I don't think he ever plays badly, but it's just like, is there enough impact there? But the rest of the team, Rashford, I have my doubts about him as a center forward. I don't think he'll ever be that level of center forward because, I mean, you look at the way this guy heads the ball. I'm a firm believer that to be a top striker, you have to be able to head the ball. And that miss against Newcastle, even the one that Fred played them today, it was a little behind him, but that's a pathetic attempt right there. And I think just in general, his hold up play, it was a little better today, but it's just never been at that level of like a Martial, for example. But at the same time, the way this guy stretches defenses out, the way he's consistently keeping people on their toes, I saw a lot of people at the weekend saying we needed Ronaldo to be in those positions that Rashford was for that huge chance that he got at the end. And it's true. If Ronaldo wasn't that chance, he finishes that 99% of the time. But Rashford's movement and his anticipation and his speed is what gets him in those positions in the first place. And that's why when Martial is out, which at the moment, right, you can't trust this guy's body, I think Rashford has to be playing up front consistently. Even though he's a frustrating player, I think he's got to be the number one striker if Martial's not in.
Yeah, nah, with Rashford, it's a funny one. It's because like over the years, I have gotten onto him. Oh my God, I've gotten onto him so much.
Last year was terrible, bro. Last year was an abomination, bro.
Bro, it was poor. Like even the 2 seasons where he did get a decent amount of GA.
Yeah, it was still poor. Yeah, I agree.
The performances in terms of 90 minutes were poor. But I think with today, like as much as people will get onto him for the fact that, well, I've already said it. Like I think he should have walked out with a hat trick. He should have walked out with the match ball. But the thing is, because we've won, and when I look at just Rashford's 90-minute performance, bro, I can't dispute it. Like it was actually quality. Like he ran the channels. And the thing about Rashford is I've always had doubts about him playing as a lone striker. I've always felt like maybe he does need that body around him.
100%.
Today, like he was a nuisance. And the funny thing is, like, this is gonna sound very shameful, but it's like I do praise some Tottenham defenders, but bro, he made every single one of them look washed today. Like,
Romero,
like, when he dropped Romero, bro, you saw it.
Hey man, I'm a Romero fan too, but this year recently, bro, Arsenal, he was shambolic. Today, shaky, bro, shaky.
Now he was quality. Like that's one incident with Romero. I'll be real. Like 2 of his shots were just unbelievable saves by Lloris. Like I think any other keeper in the league, Rashford gets a brace. Yeah, but it's the fact that they weren't even just easy, clear-cut opportunities where all he has to do is strike the ball. Now, bro, he has to control the ball. He has to carry it. He has to dribble past 1 or 2 bodies, create space, create the angle for the shot. So fair play to him. Like he's flourishing in that number 9 role, and we all know, like once Martial was back, them two as a duo, they cook. Regardless.
Yeah. No, I'm with you 100%. I think we're gonna wrap it up this part about United, guys. Unless you guys got any last minute questions, or if you think of something later in the show, make sure to send that in. But in general, United now, I think they go up to what, 5th, 6th? They're in and around those positions. I think they still might be 6th, but they got that game against Chelsea now at the weekend. That's huge, bro, because Chelsea, they dropped points tonight at home to Brentford. Was that at home or away?
Nah, they were away.
Hey, bro, that's in my ends. That's my local right there. I should have pulled up. But no, that's a big 2 points drop. Kind of matches what we did at the weekend, so that's good. What do you kind of see coming out of that game? Graham Potter versus Eric Ten Hag, 2 positive thinking managers. How do you kind of see that going?
It's a tough one, you know. It's very tough. Like Stamford Bridge is tough. It really is. And
even though, bro, the last time we lost at Stamford Bridge in the league at this point, I think it was the 4-0 against Mourinho. No, it was the 1-0 with Morata. I think it's that far back, 17-18.
Wow.
Yeah, because we never lost that with Ollie, and last year with Carrick, we didn't lose.
Yeah, we drew that one. We drew that one. Even though they cooked us, but it's just like We capitalized when we had to. But
Yes, sir.
no, man, you know what it is? It's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a good game because the one thing I like about Ten Hag is he doesn't care who the opposition are. I'm going to go out. I'm going to play my game. If
I
I
love it.
lose, I lose. If I win, I win. And that's going to be a good look because we go to Stamford Bridge, we play our game. I think with today, like I even tweeted it before the game, I was like, I'd be shocked if Chelsea walk out of Brentford with a result. Because once I looked at that lineup, bro, I was like, nah. It's not working. Like Gallagher, Broha, Havertz, bro, that front three stinks. Like that is a horrible front three. Now don't get me
I
wrong.
read today, bro, Havertz was awful today. I didn't catch the game,
Mm.
obviously, same time at United, but people were saying, bro, that Havertz like the worst game he's ever played in his life. And like I feel like every single week we're saying that.
Bro, you just add it to the collection, yeah. So when I looked at that team, I was like, the Brentford that I know at home, like Brentford away from home are suspect.
They're a
in my
problem,
eyes,
bro.
but
They're a problem.
they are, but Brentford at home, bro. I remember those performances last year against Chelsea, Liverpool. Like they're very well drilled. They're very hard to break down. Today with Chelsea, like because I only managed to watch the first half and then like a little bit when it was half time, bro. They did not look good. I think he done one too many changes, and I think the problem with Potter is he's not giving a lot of players game time to play week after week to build some momentum, to get some confidence, to get an understanding of the way that he wants to play and the players around them. Because, bro, like 1 week you got Sterling and Aubameyang, and then the week after that you got Broha and Gallagher. So Stamford Bridge,
Hey, man,
bro, as wild as it sounds, I think we can get a result over there.
I'm completely with you. I'm completely with you. This game, I really thought we were gonna draw it. I thought it was like tailor made for Spurs to pack it in, and we just can't break them down. A bit like the Newcastle game. But even before this game, I thought that we could go to Stamford Bridge and absolutely get a result. And the thing with Potter is that he's an excellent manager. I'm a huge Graham Potter fan, but this isn't gonna be like Thomas Tuchel, who the way this guy sets up defense is go ahead and break it. You can go play for 180 minutes at times. You're not breaking that defense. I think Potter's teams can be got at. I think they play a lot more open. They're a lot nicer to watch on the eye. And I think they are going to be a better team long term than Thomas Tuchel's team was. And that's saying something because that was a top team that he built. But you can get at this team for sure. Absolutely. So I'm 100% with you. And like I said, that's a big result dropped against Brentford. But hey, we've seen some huge performances from them as well. Ivan Toney, bro. I've been singing this guy's praises all season last year. That's a top striker right there. The other game that happened today was Liverpool. And again, I don't know how much you caught of this, but this is coming after their result of the season against City, where they got a huge 3 points. And then this time around, it wasn't easy, bro. It wasn't easy whatsoever. But Darwin Nunez finally back on the score sheet after all the shit that he's received the last week. Alisson, huge save against Bowen. For me, the best goalkeeper on the planet still, regardless of Courtois' ranking in the Ballon d'Or. Is this kind of back on track for Liverpool? Like, are they kind of getting, even last year, right, when they almost won a quadruple, there were a lot of performances for them, especially at Anfield, where even though they don't play the best, these guys know how to grind out results. And it almost seemed like that knack, because it is a knack, it is a skill to win ugly, is kind of back with Liverpool now. The last two games, they haven't been at their scintillating best, but they're getting back to getting results. And then maybe the performances come from that. Do you see with Liverpool any route back into the top four this year? Because at the moment, they do sit seventh, but hey, it's very tight this year. They're not too. I think they're 7 points off Manchester City as it stands. Is there any way back into the top four for Liverpool this year, or do you think this year is probably a step too far for them?
Nah, 100%. Like, bro, I've still got them to get top four because
Really,
because bro, the one thing about this Liverpool team is they've got quality all over the park. Like the thing about this Liverpool team is all it takes is just Mo Salah to turn up and he'll win them the game alone.
yeah.
Like like if he like today from what I'm reading, because I only managed to get a bit of the game, he wasn't that good. But bro, the way he performed against Manchester City, if he does that against, and that's Manchester City, in my eyes, the best team in the league. Bro, if he does that against any other team, he easily walks out with 2-3 goals. He easily carries Liverpool to 3 points. And that's just Mo Salah. Then you've got Trent.
I was going to say this, though. I don't think, without Jota and without Luis Diaz, who they're talking about like months and months on end. I'm not a huge Jota fan, just from an aesthetics point of view. I've said my piece on this guy enough, but at the end of the day, he's efficient. And Luis Diaz, for me, the first half of the season before his injury was Liverpool's best player. Yes, Firmino is balling right now. He's bringing it back to 2018. No question about it. And yes, Darwin Nunez is showing you moments that, look, this guy is going to be a threat every single time. His movement, his tenacity, he'll score goals in this league. But is that alongside Salah enough to keep the pace with the rest of these guys. Because for me, Liverpool, right? You were going to mention Trent there. I didn't watch today, so I don't even know if he was back in the lineup. But what I've seen from him this season, bro, is an absolute liability. And you look at Henderson's decline in form, Milner's decline in form. I think you're really looking at a few guys in Salah, in Thiago, and Van Dijk, and you're praying to God these guys stay fit, and Alisson, of course, because if those pillars go down, boy, I'm worried for Liverpool. I actually have them missing out this year. I don't think they're going to make the top 4 this year.
Yeah, nah. Like even the 3 players that you mentioned, the thing is, they're such high caliber players. Where in my eyes, if they step it up a game, they can just run the show alone. Like if Van Dijk steps up and has a game of his life and just brings back the old days, yeah, bro, he can nullify an entire team by himself. Like there's no surprise that people call him the best centre back in the world.
Yeah. And United and Chelsea don't have players of that caliber. And Alisson, Van Dijk, and Salah. None of those 2 teams have players of that caliber that can step up to elite levels. That's true.
We don't. And you even mentioned Alisson. I fully forgot about him. Thiago, I'll be honest, this season, like even though he has been injured, whenever Thiago's played, he's just ran the show. Like Fabinho's continued the same form from last season where he was horrible. Like fair play to the guy.
So cooked,
Manchester City, he was relatively decent. But bro, like Thiago is still the main man. In attack, I feel like, you know what it is? Like with Darwin, even though he has struggled, and I have defended the guy like from day one, and boy, I've gotten a cooking out of it whenever he's been poor, yeah.
Bro, that cameo against City, fam. Oh my god, that shit was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
PMP to a point where it was unstoppable. Like I'll be real, if he can just up his composure a little bit,
he needs to refine his game a bit. To be honest with you, because right now he's so raw, bro. But the intangibles are there. Yeah.
Sometimes being raw is good. Like it does have its benefits. Yeah, but bro, like the way he played against Manchester City, I was watching it and I was like, yo, there's no stopping this guy. Like sooner rather than later, he will score. And the thing is, he should have easily walked out of it with 2 assists if he just had a brain in the final third and he squared it to Salah. But I think the goal today for Darwin will up his confidence without a doubt, especially when you bear in mind they've got Nottingham Forest on the weekend. I feel like if Salah cashes in on a few goals over there, Darwin, Bobby, like the thing is they're now forced to play Bobby because of the injuries that they have. But Bobby is probably the best player for Darwin and Salah to play with because of how diverse he is. He's just so different. But I feel if Diaz and Jota were fit, you would see Klopp rotate because of the Champions League and this and that. But now he has to play Bobby. And bro, we've seen what Bobby and Salah can do together. And now you've got Darwin, who's that willing runner in behind. So I'll be real. I think I got them in top 4.
This guy Hodges on first name basis with all these Liverpool players, bro. Trent, Darwin, Bobby. The joke on here,
undercover Liverpool fan.
I was gonna say the joke in here is that Cam is an undercover Chelsea fan. I brought an undercover Liverpool fan into my stream. That's crazy. Listen, I'm gonna go through a few of these questions just because we got some super chats. We got some questions for you. The first one, Haj, unrelated, but where'd you get them canvases behind you from? I'm actually very curious, bro, because I've been peeping the TikTok for a minute. You always got fire backgrounds. Where do these come from, bro? Give them a cheeky plug.
Fam, that's the thing, innit? Everybody thinks like I've got this company plug-in. I went Tesco. I bought frames, and then I just printed the photos and done it myself.
No way.
Yeah, I'm getting the Benzema one soon, man. I have to.
Bro, that's a life hack right there, bro. Those look official as hell.
Yeah, they look mad.
That's crazy. We got a few more as well. Ash, thank you for the super chat, bro. Big up the S. Speak on that UCL fraud Conte. We already did, man. I wish I'd seen that super chat earlier. But listen, Cam is the Conte fan on here. This guy's always saying that United should have hired him at the time, but I just don't think the way he plays football could ever fly as a Man United manager. Like we saw with Jose, right? And this is even Jose, who I don't even think is as negative as Antonio Conte is or as reactive as he is. And at the end of it, once the results dip, United fans cannot sit through that football. It's just not in their DNA. Old Trafford will not sit through that kind of football. So listen, Conte will get you results, but at what cost? And for me, I keep saying for Spurs fans, if at the end of this year, Spurs don't win any trophies and they don't go far in the Champions League and they finish 3rd or 4th, is that really worth it? When you can go get a Pochettino who's able to do that for you. You could get a Graham Potter who's able to do that for you while also playing better football. Like you're sacrificing your souls for trophies here. And if the trophies don't come, is it worth it? That's the question I always ask. This guy right here. You think Locatelli thrives in the Prem? Very random, but what do you think?
No, I love Locatelli.
Baller.
I think he's very disrespected, but I think he's disrespected because people don't watch Serie A. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, there's people that I chat to and they're like, oh yeah, Locatelli from the Euros, and I'm like, what? Like, you don't tune into Serie A, even though he was injured last
Yeah,
season, yeah. But now, man, I think he's quality, and I was even seeing rumors of him being linked with Arsenal, and I was like, shit,
I remember
like,
that. Yeah.
oh, that's not good news for the league.
Hold up. Oh shit. No, never mind. I was just looking at Ronaldo, Eric Ten Hag. My boss texted me just now, bro. He's like, "You got to see this." I see Eric Ten Hag's quote on Ronaldo. I thought this guy was about to give me a raise or something. Right now. Anyways, now Locatelli is class, bro. Even in the Euros, until Verratti came back and reclaimed his position, Locatelli was excellent, bro, throughout that year. I think he's a guy that before this season, I would have loved to see at United. When you talk about deep relying midfielders who can also progress the ball at a high level, and you're bringing Pogba back into that Juventus team. I think look out for those two because I think they could really form a good partnership. This Juve team is shocking. Allegri, the less said on him, the better. But I think those two could really form a good partnership. There's Arsenal links as well. I remember last year, but here's the thing, guys, right? Getting Italians to move from Serie A is borderline impossible. Like I saw the other day, they were talking about Barella to Liverpool. It's never going to happen, right? Like these guys are playing for their boyhood clubs or whatever. They're living in Italy, which already isn't too bad as is. And to come to the Premier League, like how many Italians have really come to England and excelled like that? The only Italian ever to win the Premier League is Balotelli, and there's a reason for that. And it's just not going to happen. I'm trying to think what other games this weekend happened. City Arsenal was supposed to happen this weekend. I guess I can ask you this then, bro. Where do you see the final, the top six towards the end of the season finishing up as? I'm going to guess you have Manchester City coming first. Is United in that top four? How do you have it finishing up?
Top six. Ooh.
Yeah, top six.
Top six. I've got City winning it, but I don't think, like so many people say, like after the World Cup, City are just gonna go on a mad run and then they're gonna like create themselves a 10-point gap. Now, bro, I think, like personally, I think Arsenal are gonna exceed 80 points this year, and that's something that they haven't done, I think, since 2000 and I can't remember the year, but it was like the Hleb days. Yeah, like
08, 09, 07, 08, I think. That's the year
so
Eduardo went down. Yeah,
with those guys, yeah. But nah, man, Arsenal looks so good. Like Arsenal look proper good, and all they need to do is just make sure everybody's fit. Like no stupid injuries, no stupid red cards that can like disrupt things. But I've got City coming first, then I've got Arsenal. I can't even lie to you guys, innit? Maybe I'm a little bit giddy at the moment, but I've got...
Nah, don't do it, bro. Don't do it. We move in silence. Underdog status, bro. Come on. This guy's gonna talk about United third.
Bro, you have to look at the teams around us, man. Like Tottenham. I think there's a way to get at Tottenham, if you know what I mean. And like, let's not lie to one another. Like a lot of teams would have seen this game today against Manchester United and seen, like, you play like this against Tottenham, as long as you've got quality in the final third, you can definitely have a go at them 100%. Because playing out from the back, bro, it looked bad today. Like Dyer, Romero, I'm hearing ball playing centre halves and this and that. Yeah, maybe it was just one bad game, but bro, like, let's be real. Man United's press isn't even like Manchester City level press, bro. It was still disjointed at times, but we still managed to retrieve the ball.
So what? You're saying United third? Don't do it. Nah, man, don't do it.
City, yeah, we'll go City, Arsenal. I think third and fourth will be a battle. I really do. I think third and fourth will be a battle. Fam, I don't care. We'll go United third.
Wow.
If you start me at the beginning of the season, I would have told you United sixth. United third, I think. I'm just hoping that Martial finally recovers.
It's either that or we go and sign Gakpo or someone in the summer, bro, in January, bro. Because this forward line, as currently constructed, is not getting you top four. I'm gonna be the rain on your rainbow here, bro. There's no way this forward line, as currently constructed, can get you top four. I just don't think there's enough goals in it. You need another guy.
Yeah, no, that's true. That is true. There's not enough goals, but the thing is, the one thing you can finally say about Man United in years is that even though there's not that many goals, defensively we look solid. Yeah. So, bruh, we can do the 1-0s. Yeah, take the 1-0, 3 points. It is what it is. Yeah, but okay, cool. You know what? We'll go City, Arsenal. I'm gonna go United, edge it.
You said Liverpool are gonna finish top four too, right? So what is it? Spurs are missing out.
But then you got Chelsea. Yeah. And then I got Liverpool fourth. Because I'll be real, I love Graham Potter. Like I've been screaming this guy's name for years, yeah. But bro, from what I've seen of Chelsea lately, that attack don't look good. Like Raheem Sterling is looking like whoa, like he's looking horrendous.
The city
Aubameyang's,
allegations, the city tapping allegations had some truth to it, huh?
bro, I rate Sterling, yeah, but like
Me
even
too.
today when he came on, I was like, go on, he'll do something. He'll do something against Brentford, yeah, bro. Like they got my man playing wing back, so it's like I don't get it. Aubameyang's cashed in on a few goals, but nah, man, I don't know. With Chelsea, I feel like maybe that over rotation, shall we say, yeah, with Potter might cost them. And let's be real, like that Chelsea squad, it's got a lot of big names,
It's not
but
that great.
a lot of them aren't really that good, to be fair. So yeah, nah, man. Then I got Liverpool 4th, and then we'll go 5th
Spurs,
Spurs,
no? Yeah.
5th Spurs, and then 6th. What's it called? Tottenham.
Chelsea.
Oh my God, what am I talking about? Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea.
I don't know, bro. Maybe you're just a lot more optimistic than me about United at the moment. Like I'm optimistic to an extent. I think we finally made the right appointment, and I haven't said that ever with Man United. I finally believe they made the right appointment. Hey, if anyone saw the Ten Hag video, you know me and Haj, we're high on Eric Ten Hag for sure. But I just think this squad isn't there at the moment, and I look an injury to Eriksen, and this team is cooked. Martial out for an extended amount of time. We've survived just about without him, but I don't know if we can do it 38 games. I think if United are to reinforce in January, then yeah, they can make top 4. But I think United's path to the Champions League this year comes in the Europa League. So I don't think they're actually going to make the top 4. I got City. I got Arsenal. And I agree with you. I think it is going to be a lot closer than other people are expecting. I think, forget about just Arsenal, right? I don't think City are at the level that everyone is making them out to be. They're excellent, no doubt about it. But what you gain in Haaland's proficiency in front of goal, you also take out the fluidity of previous Manchester City teams. And I look at Liverpool this week, and I found myself watching that game kind of thinking it almost seems like City are forcing it to Haaland. They're forcing that ball to him. The minute they get the ball, they're looking up to see where he is in the box. And rightfully so. This is arguably the best finisher on the planet at the moment. But it's kind of, you've kind of lost what you've had of City the last few years, where you got a false 9 and everyone is moving for each other and people are running the channels and you get space from the false 9, Gundogan making runs forward. You kind of lost that, in my opinion. So I actually think City will not accrue as many points as they have the last few years. And I actually think it'll be very close between them and Arsenal. But at the end of the day, you can't bet against Pep in a 38-game season. 3rd, I still have Spurs, believe it or not. 4th, it's between
Chelsea or United.
Yeah, because I did say Liverpool aren't going to make it. But I'm with you about Chelsea as well. Hey, man, let me hop in my United content creator bag, bro. United's coming 4th, bro. United's coming 4th. Liverpool 5th, Chelsea 6th. There, you got it. Let's see what else.
Chelsea 6th.
Yeah, I think Chelsea got 6th, bro. I'm with you, right? There was a lot of big names in there. But, here's the thing, too, right? As much as I rate Potter, was it too early into the season to sack Tuchel, especially when this is basically his team? I think so. I completely think so.
Do you know what it is? When he got sacked, I was surprised. I really was, because I was like, especially the money that was spent in the summer. Let's be real in it, yeah. Like the way Chelsea were just targeting centre backs, you're thinking there's no way it's Todd Bowie, because we all know who Todd Bowie wanted. He wanted Ronaldo. He wanted this. So
this dude wanted a franchise player, bro. They're talking about,
bro. That's what he wanted. He wanted the superstars. He wanted the superstars. Yeah. So when you're seeing Chelsea 85 million for Fana, you're thinking what? You're seeing Cucurella. You're thinking like, what's going on over here, Koulibaly? So, bro, I think it was wild. Yeah. But what it was with Chelsea is, bro, like, besides the results, Tuchel's biggest problem was his misprofiling. Like, bro, I'm seeing 6s being asked to play like 8s. I'm seeing, bro, I feel like
wing back, bro. Talk on that.
They're still doing that now. They're still doing that now. Like Havertz, like I've always said, Chelsea's biggest problem will always be the fact that the club doesn't want to call quits on Havertz. Like they don't want to put up their hand and say, you know what, Project Havertz, it's failed. We have to bin him back to the Bundesliga. Yeah. So I feel like any manager that comes in is going to be forced, in a sense, to give Havertz minutes to see if they can get something out of him. Yeah, but bro, even on the Potter, he's dying, and I've seen Potter try him out in 2-3 different positions so far. And I don't know, man. Like I look at that team, there's talent, and Potter is a magician in my eyes. Like I'll be real. Before Ten Hag, I said if we don't get Ten Hag, We're not going to get Enrique because of the World Cup. But just gamble on Potter. I don't care about this whole, like, can he handle the egos? Can he handle the step up, bro? Potter is an amazing manager. But
I agree.
Now, man, that squad, especially with Conte is now out for about 4 or 5 months. So
that's
I don't know, man. Like, I feel like
Reece
they're
James
lacking.
is out for 8 weeks, bro. Reece James is their biggest attacking threat.
Bro, you could even say he's their main goal scorer. He's their main goal scorer. He's their main creator. He's away. Now you're having to persevere with Aspilicueta or Ruben Loftus-Cheek. So that's already, the right-hand side is already in the bin. Yeah, because you've got Havertz that also plays down the right from what I saw today. And now, man, I don't know. Like, they don't have firepower in that team. Like, as much as United don't have firepower, I just feel like with United, I'm a little bit more optimistic that Martial, we can get maybe like a run of 10, 15. With Martial, I feel like we'll be able to create bigger and more clear-cut chances rather than just like 100%. Spamming shots in a sense.
Here's the thing too, right? United as well, they got X factor in their attack. They got, no matter what you want to say about it, I think we both sit on the same stage with Bruno, but Chelsea do not have a guy like Bruno who even in his worst games can make something happen out of nothing. Chelsea, I feel like a lot of their players are still very system oriented and like they can perform in a good system, but in terms of creating solutions out of nothing, I think they really lack that kind of profile of player. And that's where, for me, I think I would still have United above Chelsea. And that's why even under Aldi, right, why they were able to get the best out of Chelsea, the better of Chelsea every single time, is because of that X factor. Is that because they have problem solvers just in abundance. Rashford, Anthony now, Bruno, Martial at his best. So I'm with you, man. It's just a question of United. Can they keep their main guys fit? And for me, if they reinforce in January, then, hey, they might have something cooking. There's another comment I wanted to talk about. And it's not, again, I didn't watch Chelsea today, so I have no idea how he played. But Jorginho, Haj, yesterday I saw the most egregious take of all time, bro. I don't know if you saw me gassing up Pirlo, bro. Just because Faisal is out here. I'm actually very interested in where you sit on this, by the way. Faisal says that the top tier midfielders of the last 20 years, tier 1 consists of Zidane, Modric, Iniesta, and Xavi. And I don't disagree. But I said that Pirlo is also in that tier. Now, I don't know whether you agree on that or not. I'll get back to you on that. But I put up this clip or this highlight reel of Pirlo versus Germany 2006 World Cup semifinals. And, bro, the amount of Chelsea fans were so lost in the head comparing Pirlo's performance to an everyday Jorginho performance. Brother, if you were to talk to any of your boys in real life and compare Pirlo to Jorginho, you'd get laughed out the room, bro. It's only on Twitter.com that these comparisons exist. It's baffling to me.
Because you have to bear in mind, innit, like, this is the one thing I hate about Twitter, which is it's such a young app. Yeah. Like, it really is. Like, bro, you might be arguing with a guy that has a Neymar pick, yeah? But in reality, he's 12. It's like, bro, you don't even know who Pirlo is.
Thanks,
but you're out here giving me your opinion on him. Now, of course, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And the funny thing is, especially nowadays, bro, like, you don't even need to have studied the player's game to have an opinion on them. Bro, you go on Wikipedia, it gives you their goals, it gives you their assists. I don't know, maybe jump on YouTube, watch 1-2 compilations.
Forget about that, bro. Go on there. They got an icon in FIFA. They got a prime icons. Okay, is buy now prices $400K? I can't be that good, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's how it is, isn't it? Yeah. So that's why, like, with Twitter, it's tough, yeah. But do you know what it is, isn't it? Yeah, I feel like with Pirlo, like, I rate Pirlo, man. I love Pirlo, innit? And I've always said, innit, like, I'm an admirer of players that can do it in numerous positions. So, like, players that maybe, let's say, start their career a bit more advanced, and then as they get older, they drop deeper and deeper and deeper. Like, one thing we've seen in football is not many players can do that. Not many players can, like, change roles, be diverse enough to still have an effect on the game, playing in a position where they haven't really learned their trade.
That's why I love Gundogan, for example. He's excelled
at
6, 8, and 10, bro. How many players ever can claim that they've excelled in all 3 phases of midfield? Not too many.
Not many. That's the thing. Not many. And the thing is, a lot of people seem to just brush that under the carpet. So, like, they try to use the whole, like, the only reason why he didn't play, for example, as a number 8, as a box-to-box for his whole career is because he wasn't good enough. But nah, not really, man. Like, I've always said, diverse players are some of the best out there because they're just so good enough where you can put them anywhere. They'll get the job done and they'll still have an effect on the game. And, bro, like, you touched on Gundo. Bro, I love Gundo so much. Like even from his Dortmund days.
Yeah, bro.
But now he's playing for Manchester City, so there's
I
a
got
lot
a
of
tweet
eyes
from
on him.
2013 begging Man United to sign Gundogan. From 2013, bro. I'll pull it up if I have to. But dog, this is one of the most underrated midfielders of the last 10 years. No doubt about it.
Yeah, he's quality. But now, man, with Pirlo, I feel like one part of me thinks that maybe he doesn't get the respect he deserves because in a lot of people's eyes, like the top two leagues, shall we say, is Prem then La Liga.
Yeah.
But bro, when I was growing up, like Serie A was the one, bro. Like Serie A was the main league.
That
Like I
Milan
remember,
team, bro. Come on, that's one of the, people. Here's the thing, right? You can talk about the Prem in Pirlo's heyday was excellent, right? You had Chelsea, United, Liverpool, and Arsenal going to the semifinals almost every year. But in La Liga, you had Real Madrid, who won 8 years. They couldn't get past the round of 16. And then you had Barca. You had a few Ronaldinho years here. You had the Rijkaard period in between where they did okay, but they were finishing third in the league at times. Milan was the top dog in Europe, bro. If you wanted to win the Champions League, you had to get past Milan. And at the heartbeat of that team is Andrea Pirlo. Of course, they have Kaká, they have Shevchenko, but Pirlo is the heartbeat of that team. So, yeah, we talk about, okay, the Serie A, it's not recognized in as many people's eyes, especially in today's game as like a top league. But, bro, back then you had Juve, you had Milan, you had Inter. The top teams come from Italy, like you said.
bro, like back then, Serie A had just as many ballers as the Premier League.
Yeah.
Like, yo, Italy was a force. Like, besides AC Milan, bro, Italy was a force. Like, they had superstars all over the park. And with Pirlo, like I've seen the transition of how he goes from different position to different position. I've seen the way he can just dictate games, bro, to a point where you'd forget that he's even on the pitch. But it's just like I've always said it: the best of players make the most simple of things look easy. Like things that don't even catch your eye. And that's where, like, where you said today, where people were like, oh, like it's just a typical Jorginho performance. Yeah. Now I agree that like Jorginho's performances have dropped this year, but I've always said like Jorginho is still a quality player. Like
Jorginho's a player United could use, by the way. I've always said it's a player United needs, to be honest. Like a first dictator.
I done a TikTok video about this in the summer, and I had Chelsea fans telling me, "Nah, you can't touch him, this and that." But I was thinking, yo, for a stopgap, Jorginho, in terms of picking up the ball in the first phase and progressing it, of course, there's better players because he's not the best of ball carriers. But I was like, listen, like. He'll do the job, but with Pirlo, bro, like you had everything in abundance. Like you had the dictating from deep, you had the ball carrying, you had the fact that if Pirlo got pressed, like let's not make it sound like you could just get the ball off him, bro. Like this guy can beat the press, this guy can dribble past one or two bodies. And the thing is, in the final third, he wasn't like most of your DMs nowadays, where in the final third they're brain dead. They have no idea what to do. Nah, bro, this guy can create in the final third. This guy can put it in the top corner.
100%.
It's disrespectful, I'll be honest.
100%. I don't know if you remember this game, bro, when we beat Milan 3-2 at the San Siro, 2009-10, and then we welcomed them back at we welcomed them back at Old Trafford 4-0. I think Rooney scored like 3 headers over 2 games. But bro, the only way we could stop Pirlo, and Fergie knew this, the only way we could stop Pirlo is by putting Park Ji-sung on him. Minute 1 of the first leg to minute 90 of the second leg. This guy, Park Ji-sung, followed him like his shadow, bro. You guys can go check the clip on YouTube because I'm pretty sure BT Sport has posted it before. Bro, this guy was like his dog, following him every single blade of grass that he covered. But that's the only way you could stop a guy like Pirlo, man, because players like that, they think the game like 6 steps ahead of time, bro. They're thinking about their moves 6 steps ahead of time while you're completely focused on what's happening live and direct. And that's what makes the best midfielders of all time the best midfielders of all time. But, bro, I was even saying, like, when you talk about that first tier, you need a resume, which he has. You need longevity, which he has. You need consistency, which he has. You need silverware, which he has. He has every single thing covered to a maximum extent at a World Cup level, Champions League level, and domestic level. For me, that's a tier 1 midfielder. But I don't know where you stand on that. Faisal was crazy, bro, talking about Modric is closer to Zidane than Pirlo. I think that's a crazy take.
Nah, he's quality, man. He's disrespected. And you have to bear in mind, he's one of probably the only, I may be wrong, he's probably one of the only Italian players that can say he's played for all of the top Italian clubs. And usually there's a massive rivalry. Like, bro, you can't switch from one team to the other. But the funny thing is with Pirlo, everybody still loves him. No matter who he played for, he's still loved. And
that's true. How many players have ever played at Inter, Juve, and Milan? The only other one I can think of is Zlatan.
Zlatan. I think R9 played for 2.
Yeah, no,
AC and
two.
Inter.
Okay, Juve. There was Inzaghi. There's a few too, but all 3. That's rare,
And
man.
love.
Like,
He's
yeah,
adored by every single one of them. Yeah. So
yeah.
that should tell you about how good of a player he was. Yeah. But like I said, bro, like you always have to take into account the people that you're debating with. Yeah. And Twitter, nah, man, just put out your tweet and then mute it.
You know more than me, bro, because you're on TikTok like that. And TikTok, we got an average audience age of like 8,
Different.
to be honest with you, bro.
Nah. TikTok is different, bro. TikTok
Different,
is.
man.
But you know what it is in it, yeah. Nowadays, you'll never ever know somebody's age in it, yeah. And the internet is a wild place, bro. Like I'm talking, like even funny enough today because it's all over football Twitter today. The whole Perlo thing,
Yeah.
bro. I've seen people put up stats. I was like, what? Like
That's a
you,
pure
you,
one
you think
Modric, man.
Perlo was out there, bro? You think Perlo was out there to get stats? No, he wasn't. He could, like, on God, Perlo can finish the season 0 goals, 0 assists, but I can guarantee you he'd be in contention to win Player of the Year.
Yeah. Bro, Modric, the stat is, right? I read it yesterday. Modric has never finished the season at Real Madrid with more than double-digit assists. And obviously never more than double-digit goals. And consistently, we're saying this guy's the best midfielder on the planet, but football Twitter is different, bro. I want to kind of end this off with one last question that we got from Trix here. And this is one I feel that just kind of got under the radar, and that's Brighton post Graham Potter. Because the first game, they probably should have beat Liverpool, in fact, under De Zerbi. And they were a bit unlucky not to. Trossard hat-trick. But since then, bro, they haven't won a single game. And I don't know how much you watched of De Zerbi at Sassuolo, but I don't know. Have you watched much of De Zerbi at Sassuolo? I guess that's the question. Yeah, me neither. And he came in with a bit of hype, right? Because his football is supposedly not quite like Potter's. I think it's a lot slower in the first phase, but in that second phase and third phase, it's exciting football. I mean, the results that he was getting with the likes of Berardi, the guy that used to play for Chelsea, Boga as well. It hasn't really communicated over to Brighton, and like that early season form, which it was never going to last, let's be real, has completely halted to a stop. Have you caught much of Brighton the last few games? And if so, what's your kind of takeaway from that?
Yeah, like I actually watched the whole 90 yesterday. I watched the whole 90 yesterday. And you know what it is with Brighton, bro? Like the biggest problem is, like I remember a few years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, there was a season where just strictly based on expected goals, they
were like 4th.
seventh.
I remember. Yeah.
4th or 7th. Yeah, I can't remember. But bro, it was a wild stat when you look at where they ended up finishing. And that tells you what the problem is at Brighton. Like I've been screaming it for years because I like Brighton because of Graham Potter. So I used to watch them week in, week out, and I'm entertained. And I'm thinking, listen, if you guys want to move forward, bin the life out of Neil Mopai. He is horrible, bro. He can't finish for shit.
Bro,
so when they got rid of him, and now I'm seeing Danny Welbeck lead the line, like bro, like Welbeck had chances yesterday. Now don't get me wrong, in terms of running channels, pressing players, holding up the ball, linking play, fair play, like that's his profile. But Danny Welbeck, from the age of 18, 19, when he popped onto the scene at Manchester United, never ever has he been a stone cold finisher in the final third. And bro, the thing that pisses me off is they've actually got a good finisher on the bench in my eyes. Yeah, in Deniz Undav.
I don't know enough about him. Damn, he's nice like that,
bro. He is quality. Like as in, people were literally telling me about him before he even signed for Brighton. Like, oh, this is a player that needs to make a step up. Bro, I'm not even gonna chat shit and say I watched games of that league. I didn't, but as in, I watched a few compilations of him, and bro, he knows how to strike a ball. He knows how to put the ball into the back of the net. Danny Welbeck doesn't strike with half of the balls. He doesn't strike half the balls that he.
Bro, me and you know about Welbeck more than anyone, bro. That miss against Bayern, that chip against Bayern. I wake up in cold sweats with PTSD about that dink, bro. Oh my days.
Nah, man. It's just, but you know what it is? It's his profile works because of the players that he has around him in Brighton. But I've said it. Like I remember I was watching the game yesterday, and I was like, you know what it is? This might be the final straw for Danny Welbeck, because he's had chances against Nottingham Forest. He's had chances against Tottenham. Liverpool, fair play to the guy. He done well. He created a few opportunities.
Even against us, bro. Even against us, he had chances, bro. Against us, he could have scored a few. Yeah,
that's what it is. But I've always said, like, people love to say that, like, oh, strikers, they're amazing if they can hold up the ball, link play, this and that. But I've always said it, like, that's a bonus. At the end of the day, do your job. Put the ball into the back of the net, and then give me all the other stuff, the hold up, the link up, and this and that. And Nah, man, De Zerbi needs to move away from Danny Welbeck. He really does.
This is your boy's stats. What did you say his name was?
Denise Undav.
Denise Umba. Wow. Okay. All right. 26 goals, 12 assists in 39 games. That's not bad. Okay. I see you. But yeah, man, I mean, I think that's really all we got to cover. I got to thank Haj again for coming in on such short notice. Cam hit me up this morning. He's like, bro, I'm going to OT. You got to find a new guest. So not only did he not give me an invitation to go, he had me scrambling for a guest. But bro, you're always going to be welcome on this show. Of course, me and Haj, bro, we go way back for a few years now. The BR Spaces, he was one of the first people I had to shout. I see him doing his thing on TikTok. I see him on the come up on Twitch as well. One of the best Man United fans. You guys got to go follow him. I'm going to leave all his stuff in the description, of course. My guy, thank you for coming. Is there anything else you want to say?
Nah, bro. I'm all good, man. Thanks a lot for the shout out. And like I said,
bro,
if you ever need me, I'm here.
Of course, my guy. Well, guys, thank you guys for coming up. 300 people around so in this space, or in this live, excuse me. I think we're going to wrap it up here. But guys, this has been FTBL Final Whistle. We'll catch you tomorrow of United State of Mind. Peace.